it's just so difficult having conversations like this because you're treating families, livelihoods, like they're just commodities, and like you're benching somebody, or you're just talking about a win or a loss, and you're talking about jobs here. So that said, though, that's two guys that have gotten fired midseason. Robert Saleh with the Jets, and now you've got Dennis Allen with the Saints. Are there any other teams that are an embarrassing loss or two away from doing the same thing, do you think, right now, Tom?
I said this to some people as I was, talking with various people within the league last night. Like, all the teams that were kind of on that precipice of, all right, what are they going to do? They basically all lost yesterday. I mean, the Saints, the Raiders, who fired Luke Getsy late last night, they were certainly in that spot. Right now, Antonio Pierce is getting to remodel his own coaching staff, so there's nothing, pressing. He's in his first year. But certainly the Raiders are hoping and expecting that they're going to perform better than they have to this point in the season. Obviously, Jacksonville, we've been talking about that one throughout. Doug Peterson and everybody else knows that, they've got to win here down the stretch. And they nearly, pulled it off yesterday against the Eagles, against all odds. And there's a controversial call on that Saquon fumble that gets returned for a touchdown, and on a play where I'd put Trayvon Walker's touchdown return there, Rich, like top 10 athletic feats that I've seen by a defensive player running the ball back. I mean, that was like, play that guy at tight end or something. You may be able to have some success. But, the Jaguars are certainly on that list. There's going to continue to be speculation about Mike McCarthy in Dallas, but Jerry Jones, said it last night that, he likes what he sees from Mike. He knows what a good coach he is. He's good with him. If they don't, turn this around and make the playoffs, I think everybody involved, including Mike, would know, he's in a contract here. He's a guy who's probably not going to be back in 2025. And by the way, I think that if Mike McCarthy's not back in Dallas, he will be a candidate for other jobs, potentially even the one in New Orleans, a place that he was coaching about 20 years ago, and is going to need some type of an offensive upswing. I mean, there's a bunch of them, Rich. We've already, like you said, we've got 2 head coaching openings. We now have an offensive coordinator opening. There's a bunch more teams. I mean, what are there, 9 teams, I think, that have 2 wins? Right now, they're 2-6 or 2-7. That's a lot of teams that are kind of buried right now. And it'll be interesting to see over these next, 27 hours here, how many trades we get at the deadline, because the competition committee's concern with pushing back the deadline has always been the later you get, the more teams might fire sale. And then you have an inequity competitively in terms of some of the matchups the second half of the season. If there's mass sell-offs in different places, that's going to give people pause about potentially even pushing the trade deadline back another week, which is something the GM Advisory Committee has been pushing for.
Well, catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.